Hello, Abigail. This is Logan, and I wanted to take a few moments and give you some feedback on your song. Now, I don't know if you were planning on eventually doing this in guitar or not. You said the reason there are audio tracks is because you used instruments that aren't in Logic, and that's fine. I'm not, um, I'm not against that or anything. I did mute them out, however, because I wanted to get to the heart of what's going on here, but I'll talk about the music in a second. First, I want to talk about the lyrics. So, I have to say, ooh, thunder, scary. Uh, I have to say that I kind of like the previous version a little bit better. Uh, it's not that this is bad. It seems that there is a shift in focus, and things seem to get a little bit more muddy as it's moving on because you're trying to explain the complexity of the situation. And I think I remember saying, never let the truth get in the way of a good narrative. Um, I understand the situation where you're living with your ex, um, but all the nuances and things that you're trying to point out to make this clear just tend to confuse things a little bit more because we're never really certain of what the situation is because it's never fully addressed. Unless the title of the song was "I'm living with my ex," then there's a question mark, because you even start off with saying we weren't meant to share the same bed. All along, I've had this fear. You're not the person I knew, uh, but I know I still need you here. Okay, so that makes sense because there's a longing there, but you weren't meant to stay together. And then you explain here, we're still living in this place, but these rooms are full of pain. We'll learn to live together, work it out, and start again. Okay, so this is where it starts to get muddy. We're still living in this place, but these rooms are full of pain. Okay, I can go with that. I'm sold with that. But we'll learn to live together, work it out, and start again. That's where it starts getting muddy because it's like, are we trying to start our relationship over again? Or are we, what are you trying to start over again if you've already established that we weren't meant to share the same bed? So I understand from your point of view because we've talked and you've told me, what this is about. That okay, I'm living with my ex. We have to learn how to start being friends again and then move on from there. But without that piece of information, this line comes off kind of confusing. So then you go into some things are still the same. Your hair, your voice, your gray coat in the rain. Feelings between us have changed, but some things are still the same. Okay, I can even go with that. That works fine. Um, it's getting hard to let you go when you're right here by my side. Getting hard to let you go. Okay, we weren't meant to share the same bed, and we'll work it out and start again. This is again where we start seeing some of that confusion. Um, I still want to share our lives, but I can't change your mind. Again, it's getting muddy here. So I'm starting to think, yeah, some of these individual lines are good, but as you stack them up, it starts to cause confusion. We're drifting further away from the life we used to share. You're planning out your future. I know I won't be there. Um, this line here, we're drifting further away. It doesn't need to be there because you've already told us, we're not meant to share the same bed. Um, so these two lines are, not even necessary. What I would do is probably start this verse with, "You're planning out your future. I know I won't be there. Um, it's getting hard to let you go. Blah, 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 blah. It's getting hard to let you go from things we used to share, from the life we used to share." So you can still use some of the lines, just take out other bits and pieces. Um, I'll find my own way. Eventually, things will change. Some things we'll never know, but it's time for me to let go. Good. I'll even settle on that. So there's my 2 cents rundown with the lyrics as far as where to put some things and where to change them. I would start the second verse off with, "You're planning out your future. I know I won't be there. It's getting hard to let you go um, from the life we used to share." And as far as the next quatrain, that you're going to have to come up with something else because uh, I still want to share our lives, but I can't change your mind. Uh, no, I you can use, but I can't change your mind. But I still want to share our lives. I think that's got to go. Um, we're drifting further away. That's got to go. Um, and that line up here in the start, uh, we'll learn to live together and work it out and start again. Those two lines have to change. Okay, now let's go to the music. Musically, chord progressions are fine. The melody seems to wander. There's nothing concrete in the melody. It just is kind of this uh, thing that drifts off, and I'm not sure. I mean, yes, the syllable count is there with the actual notes, but the melody itself has these leaps, and it's like I'm not sure what the pattern is, and it almost looks like there is no pattern. So starting with your first verse here. Okay, now that works. We weren't meant to share the same bed. All along I've had this fear. Okay, but then where you should be repeating this phrase, you do something different. See, I'm not sure what, again, that particular phrase that you used right there doesn't have anything rooting it down. So um, you might need to review some of the video that we had seen in class about dominant, depending upon what key you're in, the dominant, leading tones, subdominant, finding out where the push and pull, the tension comes from with those notes, because these seem to wander. And this is just a microcosm because most of this and this are the same. Your chorus melody is also the same, although the chorus has a little bit more form to it. So I try and go back and rework this. Again, the first part of this seems to work, but then you go off on a different tangent with the second part of it. So whatever you're going to be singing for this first and second line, try to do the same thing with the third and fourth line. And if you go to something different for the fifth and sixth line, then remember to try and repeat whatever phrase that would be for the seventh and eighth. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you soon. Peace.